guys, Marmalade here for Q&A number 31. First, I just hope everybody's okay and happy and healthy and doing okay in this crazy virus time. It is crazy, but hopefully you'll enjoy the video. We'll learn something together, so let's get right on with what I call Just Ask Marmalade. So question one is from Brad Marston. He's a new patron. Thank you, Brad, for coming on board with me. I have a first hiking video assembled of a hike from last summer. I can't read my own writing, sorry. Could you give us some tips on how to make good videos? So this is a hard one. I'll try to show you some examples in my answer here of what I'm talking about. But when I started, I think I'm getting up to close to 300 total videos. So before I started my through hike, which ended up being 74 or 5 videos, that means I had probably 200. So when I started, my first ones are horrendous, and I didn't know what I was doing, and there is no way to be great at it. I mean, I guess some people are naturally good at it, but I had to learn and then learn how to edit. I just couldn't figure out iMovie at the beginning because I'm old, but I feel like I'm pretty good with iMovie now. But I think the thing is what I do a lot, and even to this day, I'll watch people who do great videos. I watch their style, and I've picked up things that they do that I never thought of, or how to set up a camera for certain angles. But I think the main thing is try to be creative. My whole earlier life, I was an athlete. I was exceptional at most sports, I just was blessed that way. But when I started doing videos, I found out I have a creative, artistic side. I'm good at some other kind of art things, but with videos, I find that, it's taken a lot of practice, and they're still not perfect, but it just takes practice. So what I would say is don't be shy. I don't know if you have a YouTube channel, but if you do, start posting them. People will follow you, that may be family members, but it's a place to just put it up there, and people will give you feedback. I get feedback on mine, positive or negative. But for me, it was just trial and error. But to give you a tip, like I have, I'll insert a picture here of the ultralight tripod I use right here. Okay, and so I also use stick pick, which is what I use in the morning when I say good morning, and I do selfies, or sometimes I don't talk, but I just want to show the view around me while I'm hiking. It's a stick pick, and if you don't know what that is, or at least for people that don't, I'll put a picture of it right here. And the main thing you want to do is be creative. In other words, I learn from watching other videos, like I said. So with my tripod, I set up my cell phone next to the trail and get different angles. I try to create cool angles and try not to copy the same angle every single time. I try to sometimes next to trail, one of the effects I really like is setting up the tripod. I have a very small tripod with the cell phone. I'll set it up where it focuses on the grass that's on the edge of the trail, but not on me. So when I walk by, the grass is blowing in the wind, and it's very clear, but the people walking by are faded. That's a cool look. I'm tall, so sometimes I can put it up high on things and look down on me. So, and the tripod also has if you've noticed, there's a Velcro strap. It can actually be wrapped around tree branches, around things. So I've actually hung it. There's 1 or 2 shots in Washington on my through hike where I found a branch going across the trail, but the strap is not very long, so it can only go around a smaller branch. But I actually hung my cell phone like upside down from the tree branch, and I walked underneath it. So most people probably didn't even notice it, but it was a really cool effect. So just being creative, and you guys see the finished product, and as I get better at these, I get more and more compliments. But I have a lot of pieces and things I film that don't turn out well at all. So it's trial and error, and at worst, if it doesn't come out good, you just start over again. So that's my best thing. But yeah, I would say that's my best suggestion for that. All right, our next question is from Dave E. What are you going to do differently this year for food storage so that some rodents don't chew a hole in your new Altiplex tent? So yeah, I'm thinking about that. I haven't decided yet. I've been out, doing some overnighters. And by the way, this is exciting. I'm filming this the day before I put it out on Tuesday. Tomorrow, I'm going to join my friend Lady Bruce, who's the person that I'm supposed to continue my or try to finish my through hike this year, starting at Kennedy Meadows. Lady Bruce, which you'll meet her in my next videos. She's coming down from Northern Cal, and we were going to do a quick overnight trip. Now we're going to do 5 or 6 days on the PCT going southbound. So I think we're going to start at Paradise Valley Cafe, which is mile 151, and go either to Barrel Springs, which is mile 101, or or go all the way to Scissors Crossing, which is mile 77. So we're gonna bring enough food, and we have a whole plan that I can explain later when I'm actually doing the videos, but keep an eye out for that. I think I'll just do it however many days it is. If it's 5 days, I'll do a 5-part series. But I'm super excited. We're going southbound against the grain, so we'll get to see a lot of through hikers because there are a lot of people still out there. And so that's fun, so look for that. So, and to answer your question, Dave, I have been out there some this year, and I've seen some Ursacks, which is a rodent-proof, supposedly bear-proof bag. It's a little bit heavyish, but it's lighter than a bear canister. But I may carry that in a lot of the sections. And then the problem is if the rodents, especially, or bears or whatever, can smell the food, then they'll come through the tent, even if it's in that rodent-proof bag. So they have what they call an op sack, which I know you know what it is, Dave, but it's a very heavy-duty Ziploc plastic bag, heavy-duty, but it keeps the smells and the odors out. So you basically put your food in the Ziploc op sack, and you can look it up. I have them at REI, and then you put that bag inside the Ursack, URSACK, I think, and then you have hopefully odor-proof and then rodent-proof. They can't bite through it. But the main thing you want is not to attract the rodents to chew through your tents to get to your food. So that's my plan. Obviously in the Sierras you have to have a bear canister, but some people carry it the whole way. I don't think I'm going that route. It's a pain to deal with, although it makes a very good seat. But I think that if I don't do the Ursack, I'll at least do the op sacks that are odor-proof. So hopefully I don't draw the animals to me. So right now that's the plan, but you know how everything is, it can change. All right, next question is from Bent Hansen. Wondering about the Gas Saver Plus canister shifter. I believe you purchased one before your PCT through hike attempt last year. Did you use it much, and was it worth it, or was it a pain in the butt? So a little bit of everything. I bought it, I heard about it, I read reviews on it, and some people said it was just great. Some people said they used it all through their through hike. I bought it last minute. I didn't even get to use it. I just went on the hike. Part of the problem I had was, you know, as you guys may know, I was pretty experienced. That's where I cut my teeth on the desert section of the PCT. But I did like what a lot of newbies do, and I just started throwing little things in like that canister shifter, which let me put a picture of it right here. And I put that in there, and then I put a balaclava, which covers your face and to keep you warm. And I threw this and I threw that, and before I know it, that's a couple more pounds of stuff. So I did not keep it very long. I would say that, I want to say at Warner Springs, my buddy Robert came out to hang with me. He camped that night, I think, too, and brought some food. And I gave him a little care package of stuff that I wanted to send back home. So that shifter went with it. And just so you know, the shifter is, I didn't really use it, so you know, I actually probably should try to use it, so maybe I'll do a video or something on it. But it's basically what it is it wasn't cheap. It was like $35 if I remember right, and it's a finely milled piece of finely tuned machinery, but it's got threads on each end. So what you do is, let's say you have a canister that you've used up, a gas canister for your stove. You put it on the bottom, screw this in, it's got threads matching on the other end, and you put, when you're in trail towns, there's tons of used canisters because people don't know how much is left in their canister, and they have a next long stretch, so they get a new canister, throw the old one in the hiker box. So the theory is that you can screw this old one, no matter how much is in there, and it'll bleed it into the lower can, into your old can, and you can effectively get free gas out of it. So the small canisters that I use are $5, so you know, you can do the math to get to $35. I'd have to do a lot of gas before I pay for itself. But I decided to be nice, especially in areas where there's maybe no fuel to buy somewhere. In some of the small places, I could just get a canister and bleed it out. But I did not use it, to answer your question. But then I heard it has to be cold, it has to be a certain temperature, and there's some difficulties with this and that and the other thing. And I just decided that on the trail I was already vlogging every second all the time and hiking. I just didn't want another thing to deal with, so I sent it back. So to answer your question. All right, our last question is from Badder Than You. What is your morning coffee routine? What kind, brew method, etc.? So except for when I can't get it in a town, my son happens to work at Starbucks, so they get free kind of item every single week, and he doesn't use it. So he was collecting Via coffee, which, if you don't know, I'll put a picture right here. But it's a little sleeve of coffee. It's I guess freeze dried, you know. And then I like to add some powder cream and things like that. So my style, to answer your question, has changed. So my thought was, because I love hot coffee in the morning now in real life, But on the trail, like my new style is to get going. I don't have breakfast, I don't have coffee. I get up, get out of camp, or I never leave, and get going. And then what I do is, you know, depending on the trail, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 miles, I stop and have breakfast. And I've already got that mileage in, so it's great. And I have a little energy early on, but that gives me energy for the next chunk of miles. And what I found was I just didn't like taking the time and to carry the creamer and the sugar and you know, and instant coffee, and then heat it up and do all that stuff, and then put it all away and all that stuff. So one of the things I did it 2 different times. I did it early on in the desert for quite a while, and then I did it in Washington, was to put my coffee right in. I have a chest, just a little under a 1 ounce water bottle. I just pour it in there and actually put 2 in there. And I don't like black coffee. I like to have a little coffee in my cream and sugar, but I just found that when it's that diluted, it just didn't taste bad. It didn't taste that much like coffee or black coffee or anything, which I don't really like. So what I would do is, and you guys have watched my thru hike in Washington, there were some steep climbs. So when I knew I had like 3,000 feet over 4 or 5 miles, I would pour that in here. I would look ahead and see what part of the day that was, or in the middle of the day when I was getting tired. I'd pour that in there and I would chug some of it, but I would just sip it on the way up, and it would start hitting me, and it would give me the energy to get over some of these big mountains. And I don't know if it's psychological or real, but it works whatever. So for now on, I think unless I may change my mind. For now, I think I'm just gonna just drink it cold like that and drink it in my water or my chest. So this trip that I'm about to get to do that I mentioned, I think I'm gonna be trying that in the mornings and see how it works for me. So, but when I do heat up my water, that's what I do. I use the Via coffee, sugar, some powder cream, and I just drink it in my titanium pot. One of the other things that I sent back with me in the first week was I had a collapsible mug to drink out of, like Dixie has, and I just didn't use it. So that was one of the things that went back. So I just drink right out of the titanium pot, wipe it off, and then go. Okay, so remember, I guess today when this video is uploaded, I'll be getting on trail at Paradise Valley Cafe and heading south. And we did the math. It's something that we're going to do about, it depends on the campsites and the water, but probably 11 to 14 or 15 miles a day. Neither one of us are in great hiking shape, so we're going to do that. We're going to go southbound, like I said. I've already kind of looked at the water situation. I've been in that section a lot, so I know it. And a lot of it will be more downhill than up, so that's good. And we'll either end, like I said, at mile 101 Barrel Springs or at Scissors Crossing at mile 77. So keep an eye out for that. I'll be doing those videos soon. As soon as I get them out, and hopefully I'll do one for each day. And as usual, please subscribe and hit that little bell in the upper corner so you can be notified every time there's a video I post. And give me some more questions. This last week, I don't think I got a couple questions, but I would love more questions. So give me some questions. I hope you enjoyed this. And as usual, check out my Patreon links and my merch links down below. If you want to help support me and all, I have and actually Brett Knoll is a new Patreon of mine. He was actually one and then went off for a month, and now he's back, so thank you so much. We're going to try to hike together soon, so hopefully we make that happen. We'll do a video for that. But so I have 2 new ones, so thank you both, and everybody else that's been on board for a long time. Appreciate it. Just go check out my Patreon page, and I'm due now to put something up on there. Generally, if I have something that's new or different, I put it on the patrons. That's one of the things you get is you have to see things first before I post it on YouTube, if I think it's important enough. So that's some of the perks, and that's about it. I hope everybody's happy and healthy, and hopefully we'll get through this virus thing soon. But until then, see you down the trail.